Does your computer desktop or download folder look like this? If so, you may find it difficult to locate documents. In addition to consuming much of your time, you also risk uploading an incorrect assignment into Canvas. Digital file management will make your college experience easier, and you can take this skill with you even after you graduate. This video will explain the process for managing files on an Apple computer. It will discuss naming files, creating folders, moving files into folders, organizing folders, and lastly, searching for files. Most of us learn by doing, so it may be beneficial to watch this video from beginning to end and then watch it again, but pause throughout to practice the exercises. You can make up your own assignments and classes to build your file management skills. Part 1. Naming files. It is important to give files specific names so that they can be organized effectively. Each file should have a name that details what course it is for and the title of the assignment. Your professor may request your name be included in the file name as well. For example, the Word document file labeled Paper has already been saved to the desktop of this Apple computer. The current file name is vague, and when searching for this file later, I might wonder what class this paper was for. Was it for a science class, an English class? To avoid confusion, I need to rename the file to reflect the class it is for and the type of assignment it is. An example would be a Bio 101 research paper. To rename the file, move the mouse over the paper file. Hold the Control key on the keyboard and click the mouse to right-click on the file. Some laptops require a two-finger tap of the mouse to bring up the same options for a right-click. Release the Control key and click Rename. Type Bio 101 research paper and then hit the return key. This new file name makes it clear that the paper is for a Bio 101 class. It's a good practice to give files very specific names so that if you need to submit an assignment later, it's easy to tell what it is. Part 2. Creating folders. In addition to giving files specific names, files should be organized into appropriately labeled folders. Think of how paper files are stored in labeled folders in the drawers of a filing cabinet. The same process should be followed with computer files. To create a folder, start by opening the Finder on the computer. Select Documents from the options on the left. In Documents, right-click the mouse in the open space. Remember that a right-click on an Apple computer may require holding the Control key down or a two-finger tap of the mouse. Click on New Folder. Selecting New Folder will add a folder to Documents with the Rename box open. Notice the light blue fill on the Untitled Folder text. Type Bio 101 in the Rename box and then hit the Return key. The newly created folder named Bio 101 is now ready to have files added into it. Folders can be created anywhere, not just in Documents. Some may find it useful to create a folder on their desktop for files that they are currently working on and want quick access to. This folder can be moved after the work has been completed to avoid cluttering the desktop. Part 3. Moving files into folders. Once the Bio 101 folder has been created, the file named Bio 101 Research Paper can be moved into the folder. To move the file, click and hold the mouse over the Bio 101 Research Paper file. Move the file into the Finder and then over top of the Bio 101 folder. Release the mouse to add it into the folder. It's always a good idea to check that the file went where you wanted it to go. Double-clicking the mouse over the Bio 101 folder will open it so you can confirm that the file was moved into the folder. This process of moving files can be repeated so that other files related to the Bio 101 class are all put in a single convenient place. Part 4. Organizing folders. If a student is taking more than one class, they will want to create folders for each class. The student may be taking Bio 101, English 111, and Math 154, all in a semester at Germanna Community College. A hierarchy system should be used to organize the folders for these classes. Start by creating a folder for Germanna Community College in Documents. Click on the arrow in the upper left corner of the Finder to return to Documents. Right-click in the open space of Documents. Click on New Folder. Type Germanna Community College in the Rename box and hit the Return key. Inside the folder, create another folder to hold the documents for this semester's classes. I'm going to call this one Fall, but you may wish to name yours using the semester and the year. Inside of the folder, create 2 new folders for English 111 and Math 154. Folders can be moved into each other just as files are moved into folders. Return to Documents by selecting it on the left side of the Finder. From there, drag the Bio 101 folder over the Germanna Community College folder and wait a few seconds until the Germanna Community College folder expands. Do not release the mouse yet. This should display the Fall folder inside the Germanna Community College folder. Move the Bio 101 folder over the Fall folder and wait a few more seconds until the Fall folder expands. Move the Bio 101 folder into the open space of the Fall folder and release the mouse. The Bio 101 folder will now appear with the English 111 and Math 154 folders. This process of organizing folders can be done at the start of each new semester inside of the Germanna Community College folder so that previously taken classes are separate from any new classes. Once you become more familiar with file management, you can get a jump start and have your class folders set up before the semester even begins. You may even want to create folders for each week, chapter, or Canvas module. An example of this would be creating subfolders labeled Module 1, Module 2, etc. in a folder for an ITE 152 class. If these subfolders or any additional files are added out of order, they could be organized using the Cleanup feature. To use the Cleanup feature, right-click in the open space of the folder. Move the mouse down to the Cleanup By option, then click on the specific way you want your folders or files to be organized, such as by date created. Part 5. Searching for files. It is advantageous to know how to use the search bar in the Finder to find files quickly instead of scrolling through a folder full of files. Opening the Math 154 folder, I have added some new files, including the Microsoft Excel files for Chapter 1, entitled BMI, Car Loan, and GPA. Imagine that there are many more files in this folder and the GPA file is being looked for. Click on the magnifying glass in the upper right corner of Finder to open the search bar. If I am looking for the GPA Excel file, I will type GPA, or part of the file name, in the search bar and hit the Return key. By default, the search returns all files on the computer with the word GPA in the name. If I just wanted to search the Math 154 folder, I would click on the name of the folder in the Search Locations bar. For information regarding file management on a Windows computer or in Google Drive, see our Digital File Management video series. Feel free to review other resources provided by the Academic Center for Excellence on our Technology Resources for Students webpage. If you have any further questions, please visit ACE online or in person to learn more about our services.